Is this the new threat, in your opinion?
Well, it's certainly a threat, and that's why we need focus. The priority of the last 4 years has been DEI.
Welcome to Street Politics. My name is Reese Waters. Shout out to all of our subscribers and members here on the channel, and wishing you guys a very happy new year. Now, I want to start out by sending my condolences to all of the victims and all those that were affected by the attack in New Orleans. Unfortunately, in America, in 2025, there is nothing so sacred as we can't start the process of investigation with a little bit of misinformation, or in this case, a lot of it.
David Spunt, he and R. Griff Jenkins are able to report that the suspect drove a truck with a Texas license plate that came through Eagle Pass, Texas 2 days ago. David, what else do you know about this vehicle?
So we're hearing that the vehicle was traced to coming across from Mexico into the United States at Eagle Pass, Texas 2 days ago. To be clear, we don't 100% know that this man, and we do know the suspect is a man, was the person driving that crossed the border. That is unclear at this point. We just know that the actual license plate was picked up by a reader at a border crossing. This is per two federal law enforcement sources. And the other thing that's not entirely clear right now is the status, the immigration status of this driver. We have heard, though, from President-elect Trump, who's going to move in here in just a few weeks. He put out a statement that says, quote, "When I said the criminals coming in are far worse than the criminals we have in our country," that statement was constantly refuted by Democrats and the fake news media, but it turned out to be true. The crime rate in our country is at a level that nobody has ever seen before. Our hearts are with all of the innocent victims and their loved ones, including the brave officers of the New Orleans Police Department. The Trump administration will fully support the city of New Orleans as they investigate and recover from this pure act of evil.
Yes, we're getting some breaking news right now into our newsroom. I want to alert our viewers. Our sources now tell Fox that truck from Eagle Pass, Texas, did not cross 2 days ago. It crossed on November 16th, and the identification of the driver that crossed the border does not appear to be the shooter. We will get more clarification, we expect, Molly, in just 4 or 5 minutes from investigators on the ground.
Just so we're clear, the MAGA among us are fully prepared to blame immigrants. And I mean fully prepared to blame immigrants. So prepared, not only do they get the report, they amplify the report based on "I heard." That is where we are right now. And that little clip right there is just a microcosm of everything that we experience coming into this moment, and really tells you a lot about the facts and information that was underlying all of the previous attacks that we have seen on immigrants, now doesn't it?
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs.
I'm pretty sure Kim Wayans on In Living Color had better sources than X does in 2025, and why people reference it as any kind of source of information at this point is beyond me. I mean, that would be like listening to Senator Kennedy over the FBI.
Can I say something right quick? Tell me who you're with.
WDSU.
WDSU. Okay, and CBS.
NBC's over here on the right.
Oh, that's an unusual position.
I don't get it.
You wouldn't.
Y'all saw that? Y'all saw that, right? I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure that y'all saw that. Yeah, because I did.
That's an unusual position.
I don't get it.
You wouldn't.
And not only is nothing so sacred that we can't start the process by spreading a whole bunch of misinformation, but we're going to go ahead and politicize it and attack the media on top of that. We're going to go ahead and attack the media at a time like this. That'll be like me bringing up the fact that you used to be a Democrat, or that you found this accent at a crawfish boil.
John Kennedy. He used to be a Democrat that talked like this.
Well, we have another program here at Treasury that we're very proud of.
But then he became a Republican, switched accents, and now he talks like this.
I will not let you down. I'd rather drink weed killer.
I wish I understood better why bad things happen to good people. If I make it to heaven, I'm going to ask. For those people who don't believe in objective evil, all you have to do is look at what happened in our city early this morning. I will promise you this. I will, when it is appropriate and this investigation is complete, you will find out what happened and who was responsible. Or I will raise fresh hell. And I will chase those in the federal government who are responsible for telling us what happened, like they stole Christmas.
Oh, you will get answers, huh? You mean from the authorities, like the woman who you just pushed aside? Yeah. So you just went and pushed somebody aside to say that you will get answers. Is that what you just did? He out here acting like they gave the mic to the guy standing in the back sipping out the red Solo cup.
Suspicious, and we have not. However, as I said before, if the public sees something, please reach out to us so that way we can go through and verify that we did not miss anything. But we conducted initial sweeps.
Now here's where we get a litmus test of exactly where we are in our society. So me watching that and this FBI agent being treated the way that she was, at least gave me the satisfaction that she wasn't the objectionable one. At least he's the one out here showing his They made her the problem?
Well, it's certainly a threat, and that's why we need focus, and we need readiness, and we need clarity and priorities. The priority of the last 4 years has been DEI.
That's right. That's how you treat a useless DEI. So let me get this straight. We started with blaming immigrants, and when that didn't work because it was an American citizen, a veteran, in fact, now we have moved on to blaming DEI. Just so I'm clear, so we're blaming DEI. Now, let me ask you this, because apparently this is how you treat a useless DEI, and so clearly she has no impact on anything. So is she the problem or is she irrelevant? You're gonna have to get your racism straight, Maga, because this ain't lining up right now for me. So you watched him go from talking like Bobby Kennedy to Bobby Boucher, fresh out a red Solo cup, but the way she talks is a problem. This is where your enthusiasm and your fervor to racism becomes quite a liability. Yeah, because the fact that a black person cannot appear in public in any capacity without a red hat, without this being the result, is quite damning. That is why you got called contemptible idiots over the holiday. And that's exactly why you fell for, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and JD Vance are going to advocate for me in the first place. Now here's something, it's from a white guy, so hopefully you will accept it. I don't know, guys, maybe rushing to scream DEI when the FBI agent in New Orleans who spoke to the public is black isn't the best look when Comey, Page, McCabe, etc. are all white. Maybe it's the FBI and not DEI. See, really what it is like 6 degrees of brownness. If it's within 6 degrees of brownness, we can blame DEI. Then we don't have to blame the whole FBI. So all the white people get immunity. So I know all of this stuff happens when there's a lot of white people who could be in charge. But if there's a black person within 6 degrees, then they get the blame. Again, this is where that becomes a liability, because if you weren't so blatant in the double standards that you're applying to black people wherever they happen to be and whatever they happen to be doing, your inferiority complex wouldn't be so obvious. A couple interesting notes here about the whole DEI mess. Actually, I didn't actually mean that one. We'll have to bring up DEI for Republicans a little bit later. I found this fascinating, this little bit from Danica Patrick talking about DEI when quite frankly, she has been the beneficiary of DEI and white women at large have been the beneficiaries of DEI, but they sit there and let us take the accusations of being DEI, having been the main beneficiaries of DEI, while saying absolutely nothing. Let's not let that go unmentioned. Oh, I see we've moved on to talking about her nose ring. We're talking about her hair. We're talking about how she talks. You know, the Southern strategy has gotten extremely lazy. It has gotten extremely lazy. Because I remember when Lee Atwater first came out with it, he said, we can't drop N's no more. We're going to talk about busing and war on drugs and things of that nature. Now we're talking about hair and nose rings. Yeah. Pretty soon they're going to start a war on now and laters. I mean, it is that blatant. So let's see. We started with immigrants, and then we shifted to DEI, to blaming DEI. But that is extremely ineffective at this particular point. Where could they possibly go? Oh, I got an idea. Islamophobia. How about that? Now, Maga, have y'all learned absolutely nothing from the holiday MAGA Civil War? Huh? Did you learn nothing from that, from having all of that latent racism that you had just right out there and open and realize that you had been sold a bill of goods? I mean, Trump told you what it was.
Why did you change your mind on H-1B visas, sir?
I didn't change my mind. I've always felt we have to have the most competent people in our country. We need competent people. We need smart people coming into our country. And we need a lot of people coming in. We're going to have jobs like we've never had before.
Or was it Musk that told you what it was? Whichever one y'all are receiving as your daddy at this particular point in time.
When Elon tweets something and when Trump tweets something, Republicans don't know. I've said this earlier. Republicans don't know who their daddy is. Like, they don't know which one they need to be listening to first, and it's scrambling them.
They both told you what it was, and you are so opposed to looking inward at all. Because this whole conversation that we had last year about immigrant crime, and the thing that was just blatantly left right out there on the table was the amount of crime that emerges from right here, like the homegrown stuff. Here you have an American citizen born here, an actual veteran, and y'all have gone from immigrants, oh, that don't work. We're going to DEI, oh, well, that looks bad because Senator Kenny out here off a red Solo cup sounded like Foghorn Leghorn. We going with Islamophobia. Those are the lengths that you are willing to go. In fact, until you get over this, you're going to continue to fall for the okie doke. That is how they were able to convince you that billionaires were going to come for Idaho, because they know this is what you will do and how you will react in a moment like this. Has Elon Musk called them racist today? What? He spent all his time mad at headlines? This man spent the day that Americans were lost complaining about headlines and threatening to sue. Fox News is not going to like that. Fox News is definitely not going to like that. They already mad that they couldn't politicize this one. That's right. Another citizen, another veteran, because you knew they had the immigrant and the Islamophobia locked and loaded, and let them find a black person at all in the vicinity. Was it a black person that just walked by on the street? Maybe one of the firefighters was black. They ready to go DEI. The saddest part about all of this is in a moment where we not only should be showing love and sending condolences and care and doing what we can to try and ensure that this doesn't happen again, we are trying to demonize people who we perceive as other, whether it be immigrants, whether it be Muslims, and sad to say, whether it be black people, because that's where all the DEI stuff comes from, us not being considered a part of. And as long as all of this time and energy is being devoted to demonizing the other, it leaves you extremely vulnerable to the danger that emerges from right here. You are actually willing to be less safe to preserve your racism. I don't say this often, but Elon Musk was right. Y'all are contemptible idiots.